All right.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it's good. If it's not, we can always delete it, right? No, I'm just teasing you. Well, thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate the introduction. And it's great to see so many familiar faces and also some new ones as well. So I want to start kind of with just sharing my story a little bit. You know, a lot of you may have heard bits and pieces of it, but I want you to just hear the whole story. Because sometimes when people hear Travis, you know, he's the top leader, or he's this or this, that, sometimes you kind of, you almost dismiss like, oh, well, that's because they're the top leader. They've been in the industry for a while or this or that. And you almost kind of like, sometimes at least I used to do this. I would always like, I don't know, I would almost put them in a different class or a different league or a different like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever achieve this goal. And so I want to help you guys to understand where we started, because I was literally where every single one of you was when we first got started in this business, or maybe you are now. So Summer and I, we started off in traditional business. We owned health clubs. We started a small little health club chain, and it did pretty well. We were pretty blessed early on in our marriage. We sold that. And one of the reasons why we sold it was because in the health club industry, you're always at work. You're there early in the morning. I opened the gym, so I was there at 5 or 6 in the morning. And then, you know, typically morning and the evenings are sales. And so that's when you're selling. And so I was always gone. We had a young family and I just had all kinds of challenges. We had about 40, 50 employees, and, you know, everything from general managers that were stealing from us in other locations, and just you name it, you know, went through the challenges. And so we ended up selling that business, and we moved to Utah. And I had no idea that Utah was like the mecca of network marketing. If you've never been there before, if you literally just drive down the I-15 corridor, you start going, what are all these funny names on these buildings? Zango, Zija, Zri, Goji, and all these crazy names. And all those names are network marketing companies. It's like the mecca. And so very early on, we started we were kind of fresh meat. And so we had a lot of people that were inviting us to look at network marketing businesses. And I just thought network marketing was one of those things that people did to bug their friends and family members. And so I steered clear of it. I shared a story earlier on today, I think with Tiffany and one of our prospects that were on the line, where 1986, this is a true story. I remember the year because it was during the Super Bowl, and it was last time the Bengals were in the Super Bowl. Excuse me. My mom came out at halftime, and she had all this toothpaste and deodorant and shampoo in a basket. And she started like showing it to all of our friends that were at this Super Bowl party. And I remember walking over to my dad. I was 10 years old. And I go, what is she doing? And he's like, oh, that's network marketing, son. And I was like, note to self, don't ever do that. Like, that's totally how I was introduced to network marketing. And in our household growing up, like everything was tea tree. Like they were in Melaleuca, and it was like, I remember going to my mom once going, can't we just buy regular toothpaste just once? Can't we just get like normal soap, like normal people? I don't want to smell like this. It didn't smell that good back then. And so that was my introduction to network marketing. So you can imagine when I moved to Utah and all these people are like, hey, you know, come check out our network marketing business. I was like, no way. So finally, a friend of mine who I respected, and there's a lesson in this part, I really respected because of who he was, invited me to look at an opportunity. And I said yes. And again, it was because of who he was. And so the first lesson that I would tell you is be the kind of sponsor or be worthy of someone's respect, so that when you do invite them to take a look at the opportunity, they say yes because of who you are. And that's a very, very important lesson. I think we talk a lot about the doing in this industry, and I don't think we talk enough about the being in this industry. And in fact, I'm actually working on a book finally this year, and it's going to be all about the being. And so I said yes. I went and looked at this opportunity. I was very, very skeptical. I sat in the back room, and I will tell you that it aligned with what my long-term goals were. I wanted residual income. I wanted time freedom. I wanted the ability to be able to do the things I wanted to do rather than the things that I had to do. So we decided to give it a shot. Joined a company October of 2005, and my upline right above my sponsor was Eric Worre. Had no idea, you know, who Eric Worre was. Not Eric Worre back then. And so we were very blessed to have some good mentorship. But here's the second lesson I want to share with you. I had a traditional business. We started another company up there. It was a lead generation business. So I looked at network marketing was a side. I looked at it as a side gig. I looked at it, I treated it like a side business. And because I treated it like a side business, almost like a hobby, it paid me a decent side income. And so, you know, that was good for a couple of years. You know, it balanced out our family's income. Sometimes, you know, when we'd have a down month in our traditional business, you know, the network marketing income helped and allowed us to take an extra couple of extra vacations every year, which was great, right? 2007 hit and the mortgage industry crashed. And we had taken all the money that we had made from the businesses that we had sold and put it into real estate. And we lost everything. I mean, everything, you guys, everything that we had. I had homes repossessed, our primary residence repossessed. I was at Smith's walking out of the grocery store with my daughter in one arm, Savannah in my arms, grocery bag in another arm, and I watched my car get towed out of the parking lot because it was repossessed. And I had literally nothing, like seriously, no money at all. There was a point in time where when this was all going on, I couldn't afford to pay our utility bills. And so our gas got shut off. And we had to spend several days because I couldn't afford, and I was too proud to call my parents or anybody and ask for help. So we had no heat in the house when it was 15 degrees in Utah. So we brought the kids into our house, into our bedroom, and we would sleep at night with all kinds of sleeping bags, and we pretended like we were camping, and the kids thought we were camping. And so we tried to make it a fun deal for them, but in all reality, we couldn't keep our house warm. So I called my mom and dad at one point, and I said, I needed to help. We don't have any food, and would you send us a pizza tonight? I remember having my mom give me her credit card so that I could order a pizza. That's where I was when I started this business. Okay, so I want you guys, no matter what struggles you're going through, I want you to know that's exactly where I was. To make matters worse, I fell into a window well. Won't go into the story of how I did that, but I fell into a window well and I broke my knee into 5 pieces while this was all going on. And so I was laid up in bed and I was depressed, you know, really in a state of depression. And Summer came home one day from working out at the neighbor's house, and she said, Amy says to get on this thing called the Facebook. Maybe you can start meeting some people on the Facebook because you can't get out of bed. So I started getting on Facebook and started kind of connecting a little bit and feeling it out. And, you know, I go back, it's funny to go back and look at some of the posts back from, you can still do that and go back and see some of your posts. And I ran probably half of my friends list off because I was so annoying and so obnoxious because I didn't know what I was doing. 5 weeks later, finally got out of bed and got a knee brace on, and I was supposed to wear it, but I didn't want to wear it because I was going to a new welcome, getting started training with a new member. And I go to their house, their Rottweiler tries to attack me, and I break my knee a second time 5 weeks later. So talking about like the worst possible year ever, that's where I was when I started in network marketing. And you know what? We finally made the decision that this was going to be the vehicle that was going to become a primary business for us. And we made the decision that we were going to start treating it like a business. This is the third lesson I want to share with you. When I changed my perspective, your perspective is your reality. I want you to understand that your perspective is your reality. So for me, when I shifted my focus to this is going to be our primary business and I'm going to treat it like a business. And then here's what I did. I was only 29, I think, or 28, 29 years old. So I was young and I needed to somehow or another get people to respect the profession, because network marketing back then didn't have the same, it still had a much more of a stigma than it has today. It's much more widely accepted today. So I needed to do something to get people to look at it more than just a, you know, quote unquote pyramid scheme or whatever it was. So I wore a suit to every meeting. I dressed really, really nice. And my number one goal was to bring professionalism to the industry. I wanted to be a professional among network marketers that were out there, you know, begging and selling and overhyping and pitching and making people feel uncomfortable and surprising them by pulling out whiteboards after dinner and drawing bubbles on a board. My goal was I'm going to be the professional and I'm going to master presentations in a very professional way. I'm going to carry myself in a professional way when I go to events. I'm going to be the professional. Doesn't mean I haven't made mistakes along the way and learned from them, but that was my goal, right? And as a result of that, we started to slowly make an impact and get people's attention, slowly get a little bit of success. And when I started to look at the industry as a true business, that's when everything changed. Because when I started treating it like a business, my habits started changing. How I approached it, how I approached my presentations. I took the time to learn the presentation and master the presentation. took the time to learn these skills. And 14 months later, I had a strong 6-figure income. And my quality of life changed. We were starting to dig out of this hole, but my quality of life changed because now I was walking my kids. Chandler was in kindergarten, the bus stop in the morning. I was home when they got home from school. My quality of life started to change. And we have been in network marketing ever since, full time. We've had our ups and downs, but I will tell you that looking back, my kids now remind us just of how many wonderful trips that we've been on and experiences that they've had. And now my son, who's 18, just came to me, in the last month and said, I want what you have. I want the lifestyle that you've given us as a family. And I will tell you guys that along the way, we've used the business as a platform to educate our children about free enterprise and leadership and capitalism and business. And one of the cool things that I remember about using this business as an educational tool was one time we went away for the weekend. We came back on a Sunday. I opened up my back office and I had the kids get around me and I said, hey, I want to show you guys something. And they looked at my back office and you could see the sales and the volume that had come in from that weekend and the dollar amount that it equated to. And I said, now let me ask you, how much did Dad work this weekend? They said, you didn't work at all. I can't remember where we were, but we went on a fun trip or somewhere. And they said, how is that even possible? You weren't even working. And I said, that's the difference between residual income and leveraged income versus linear income when you're working. And so we've used the business as a platform to educate our children. And so, there's just a few lessons there in sharing that story. Number one, it's all about perception. When you look at the business like a real business and treat it like a real business, it will pay you like a real business. So what are some of those themes that come along with treating it like a real business? To me, being a professional is number one, right? Being a professional, and being a professional means how you show up. How you show up. Do you make the Monday night calls a priority? Is that a priority to you? To me, a professional, I never missed one of my my team's mentor calls. My mentor at the time, his name was Brad Hager. He's one of the top earners in all of network marketing. He says, Travis, this call, you never book an opportunity call during, this is your team call. You need to be on it. You need to show up. You need to set the example because it's the lifeline of your business. Chandler went today and he went and met, we had him go meet with somebody who's done very, very well in network marketing for millions of dollars. And I want him to hear from other people just besides me, because sometimes when Dad says it, it doesn't connect, right? He needs to hear from other people. So I wanted him to go meet. He just said I'm old. He's sitting over here listening to me. So tell him, come here. Tell him what he told you about belief. So this is Chandler, everybody, and hey Chandler's sitting here listening to these stories that I'm sharing with you guys. But I want him to tell you what this 24-year-old said about belief.
So I was just kind of wanting to learn some different perspectives and get an idea on all the different ways they're doing. Because I've seen my dad, but my dad is he is this
old.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what works for me. So I'm trying to get all the the information I can. But basically, what I got out of today was you want to have confidence. The best way to do it is to have confidence in yourself, in your company, and in the industry. Those are the three things where if you have confidence in those three things, then you just take a picture, then you can't fail. I mean, because you have the belief and it's between you and you. It's not between you and who you're talking to. And so that's one thing that I've been doing is watching a lot of videos and talking with my dad, obviously, and other people to build that belief in I already have it in the industry because I've seen what it can do for my dad and my family. But just believing in myself and in the company, which the company is amazing, and with all the people involved. So I've just been working on trying to do that. But I forgot what the question was.
That's it. Believe in yourself. You did good. I'll tell you the whole point. The point of me asking him that, he didn't know I was going to do that. My point in saying that is, where does that belief come from, right? So Chandler talked about belief in three things: yourself, belief in the company, right? And belief in the industry. So where does that come from? It comes from plugging in to people that have a stronger belief system than you, because in the beginning, early on, your belief is going to be challenged. It's going to be up and down. You're going to be like, man, this isn't working. I've tried this. I've talked to this many people. And so it really, really is a test. And in the beginning, you've got to borrow someone else's belief until your belief is unshakable. And it comes from plugging in. So being a professional, one of the things that I did is I always showed up. I always showed up to the meeting. I always showed up early on before the opportunity calls, because I knew that I had a part. Even though my part was really small, I knew that if I played that part well, my part would grow. And so I'd show up onto the team and just shout out my name early on. Back then it was conference calls. These are all the little things, you guys. The little things make all the difference in the world. And so treating it like a business, being a professional, all that stuff matters. And that's what helps you to build the belief in the business. And so I know I'm talking about 30,000 square foot stuff right now. We're going to start coming down a little bit, but I wanted you guys just to understand that there were some important lessons along the way for me, treating it like a professional, showing up, being consistent. All of those things were very, very important. So now that we've talked a little bit about that, let's talk a little bit about the system that we have in place and the opportunity that we have. So I want you guys to know that no hype, no exaggeration. I've been around network marketing 15 years. I've seen lots of different opportunities. We have something truly remarkable and special in our hands. We all pray for opportunities to come to us that have the ability to transform and change our lives. And this is that opportunity. I'm telling you guys, this is that opportunity. And I hope that you guys recognize it, see it, you don't take advantage of it, and you don't overlook it, because it truly has the ability to be able to transform your life. There's just something special happening here. I don't know how to explain it, but for the first time, I have complete peace about knowing that the products work, and knowing that they're going to be delivered on time, and knowing that the company is run by people of integrity, and knowing that the checks are going to show up on time, and knowing that the product message is being received well out there. So I have complete chemistry and synergy among all of these things that creates this wonderful, unique opportunity. And then, what are we, 16 days old from the time that we pre-launched? I mean, that gives us such a special opportunity that you guys, I can't even explain it to you. So I hope that you know what we have, truly treasure it, embrace it. Those that run now, I mean, we will go do 100 million in sales this year, you guys. One of the only companies, few companies out there that have done it. We're going to go hit 100 million this year. I just know it in my heart. And so you think about that and say, okay, if we're going to hit 100 million and there's only less than 5,000 people in the company right now, how much of that 100 million do I want in my organization? That's you decide how much of that do you want in your organization. And that really comes back to how many people that you talk to, period. That's how many people that you talk to. So our system works like this. That marker's done. So our system works like this. Okay, we have a funnel that I talk about a lot. I draw this funnel a lot on calls. Some of you maybe have seen them, maybe not. But everything starts with just piquing somebody's interest. If you can't pique someone's interest, then you're dead in the water in this business. And there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different trainings that you can do it. If you've never read the book called Go Pro, you definitely should read that. There's another great book out there called Beach Money by Jordan Adler. If you haven't read that, read that. My first, year in network marketing, great book. If you haven't read it, read that. There's lots of different books that you can read and surround yourself with. And you definitely should be doing that. At least 15 minutes a day should be allocated towards your personal growth, your personal development. If you're working, you turn your car into a classroom. Start focusing on what you're programming in your mind. What are you listening to when you drive every single day to and from work? If you haven't listened to Jim Rohn's network marketing trainings that are out there, the best of the best. I mean, start programming your mind, listening to the right things. I mean, Eric Worre, you can Google how to sponsor 20 people in 30 days, and it's an hour and a half training. Listen to that when you're driving to work. Start programming your mind and listening to all of these things, okay? Do you know just a little tip of the secret about me? Every night, I have such an active mind that it's hard for me to fall asleep. And I don't sleep very well. I just never have. So I have to almost trick myself to fall asleep. So I actually listen to, and whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. It's just the principle behind it. I listen to Joel Osteen every single night, and I've listened to probably 800 of his different talks, because for whatever reason, for me, his energy, whatever it is, it calms me down and puts me to sleep. And it just and I'm going to sleep, programming my mind in the right mindset as I go to sleep every single night. So piquing people's interest, the easiest way, there's a couple of ways that we do this, right? The first way that we do it is in person every single day. The average person encounters somewhere in the neighborhood of about 11 people every single day. Now, some of you might say, I don't, I stay at home, this or that. The average person comes in contact with about 11 people a day. And here's what I want you to know. Those 11 people, most of them are not that happy. They're not happy. They're looking for more time in their life to be able to do the things they want to do rather than the things they have to do. They're looking for better health. They're looking for more money in their life to be able to not be so stressed out. Do you realize that the average household income in the United States is $4,130? This is combined household income. Combined household income. So let's just do the math on that for just a moment. House payment, let's just say a house payment, $1,500 maybe, conservatively, maybe more. Maybe a car payment in there. Maybe some, food. You got to have some food in there. Maybe you've got some, insurance or some debt service that you're paying on. That goes pretty quick, you guys, right? That goes pretty quickly. And most households are one, maybe two checks away from being on the brink of complete disaster. The government shutdown, kind of illustrated that in many ways, in many cases. No matter what side of the fence you're on, there were people that very quickly realized, holy cow, I've got to have something else coming in. So this is where most people are today. So I want you guys to know that the people that you encounter every day, they're struggling. They're struggling. And another tip that I've learned over the last 20 years, and I put a post on this on my Facebook page today about this, I've observed that the most successful people that are really successful, are open-minded to opportunities. The people that are really hungry and starving for some change, they're open to opportunities. The people that are comfortable, they're not as open to opportunities as much. So when you think about who should I be talking to, the most successful people, there's a reason why they're successful. You know why they're successful? Because they're open-minded. And sometimes people that are struggling, they're to make ends meet, they're looking, they're desperate. They're trying to figure out ways to put food on the table. They're trying to figure out how to pay their gas bill. They're trying to figure, right? They're looking. But the people that are kind of just comfortable, comfort is the enemy of what? Progress, right? It's conformity, just living week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, sometimes you're going to want it for other people more than they want it for themselves, right? Sometimes you're going to value other people's health more than they value it themselves. And it can be so frustrating, right? So frustrating. Somebody just, you talk to them and they just don't put their health first. And what we know is they're going to pay now or pay later, right? And it's going to be a lot more expensive later with the price of healthcare. But that's not our job. So just know that sometimes you just know who to talk to. But in person, what I like to do is just give compliments. One of my favorite things to say to people is, gosh, Sharon, you know what? You've got a great smile and you've got a great personality. I'd love to have somebody like you on my team. Now, I would see Sharon's badge at the hospital or wherever, whatever I might encounter her. It might be the lady behind the Starbucks or wherever, but you just smile. It improves your face value. Get it? Like that's my pun, right? I put a little post up on that too. Just smile at someone. Tiffany just got it. She's just starting to laugh there. It's 2:00 in the morning in South Africa. So, so smile and just say to somebody, gosh, you know what? Thank you very much. You've got a great personality. I'd love to have somebody like you on my team. What do you think they're going to say? What is it you do? What do you do? Funny, you should ask. Listen, I got to run out the door right now. I don't have time, but I'd love to send you some information about the business that I'm a part of. I think that you would do really, really well. Would you be open if I sent you some information? Write your name and your phone number down. I'll send it over to you. And then you're interested in connecting. I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee, right? That's one of my favorite things to do. So in person, another time, another way that I might do it is I might do it, friends, family, just casually ask someone, hey, have you heard of DNA Nutrition? No, what's that? Funny, you should ask. Listen, you've got to take a look at this. I'm going to shoot you a text message. Now is not the time to get into it, but there is something that is happening right now in the DNA nutrition space that you really should take a close look at. It really could help from a health standpoint. So I'll send it to you tomorrow and you can take a look at it, right? I don't get it right into it right then and there, like was at a barbecue or something. So in person, just asking questions, asking people how they're doing. How's life treating you? It's funny when you just have real conversations with people. How's life? You know what they say? Not that good. Not doing real well right now. Business-wise, I'm worried. Finances aren't so good. If you really get people to be real, there's usually something that they're struggling with. And it allows you to position yourself perfectly to go, oh, well, maybe I can help. If you're struggling with health issues right now, I don't know, have you heard of DNA Nutrition? I can't say for sure that it'll cure you, but I do know that the body was designed to reverse engineer itself and heal itself from the inside out. And all it needs is the raw materials to do it. And I've recently come across DNA Nutrition that I'm taking that's making a big difference for me. If I sent you a 3-minute video, would you check it out? So you position yourself as the solution, right? Or, oh, well, maybe I can help. I'm sorry to hear that things are kind of tight right now, but have you ever considered creating a secondary income stream, going to work full-time to pay the bills, but in your part-time or spare time working on building your fortune, right? So you can do that in person a number of different ways. Second way that you can do it is texting. Just texting people, close people that are friends or family. I text people and be like, listen, I've got something that I need to talk to you about. It's really important. When can we connect? And I get on the phone with them and I just say, listen, I've got an opportunity right now. The last thing I want is for you to come back a year from now and say, why didn't you tell me about it? When can I get together? When can we get together and have a cup of coffee? When can we meet? When can we get together? I need to share with you what's happening right now. Or listen, I need to send you something for you to watch. And then you and I need to connect and chat about it. It's very, very important. Now, that's what I would do with somebody very close in my inner circle. And I can text them that way. You can text the 3-minute video, get it to them. Facebook Messenger is another one that's powerful. I love Facebook Messenger. I'm always in Facebook Messenger. I do this late at night, and I use it to my advantage. So I'll say, hey, Scott, listen, I meant to call you today, but things have been just so crazy busy right now. Figured I'd just leave you a message here, and you'd get it first thing in the morning. Look, I hope 2019 is treating you well. I've got something. I've got something that I've come across that I believe is going to be the biggest story in network marketing in 2019. And I would be remiss if I didn't, at the very least, let you know what was going on. I'd love permission to be able to just send you a little bit of a teaser video just to take a look, and then I'd love to schedule some time with you. And of course, there's different approaches. I actually have a script that you can use that's in Uforia Legacy, the script that I started out with that works still to this day very, very well for me. So leaving little voice messages like that can be effective as well. I don't ever send an unsolicited link. So I never send a link without permission first. I don't want to come across as spammy. And you know how I get around the spam? A voice message is less spammy. If I wrote all that out and put it in somebody's inbox, they'd be like, oh my gosh, this person's spamming me. But when I send a voice message and start off with, hey, Natasha, I just wanted to reach out, see how you're doing, seeing how that beautiful baby's doing and how 2019 is treating you. Hey, listen, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, but I want to know right now if you're open to other income opportunities, especially if they didn't affect what you're currently working on, because I've got something that I'm so excited about. It's literally keeping me up at night. And I'd love to know if I could just drop a little 3-minute video here for you to take a closer look at. What do you think people are going to say if you guys do that, right? So I never send an unsolicited link. Facebook Messenger is a great way to do that. And yeah, so I'll just kind of stop right there. I could kind of keep going with a few others, but that's kind of gives you an idea of how I'm piquing people's interest. And usually what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get them to a 3-minute video, you guys. And I have 2 that I like. I like the one for you. And I also like the one report for you a lot. I think that video is so effective. And so I'm actually sending both of those videos right now when I do an initial contact, because I just think they go so well together. And then from there, I'm usually following up. And if they haven't asked me, just come right out and ask me some additional questions. I'm following up, and I'm usually just asking them more questions. Sharon, how do you think that a product like this would make a difference in your health? I love to ask that question because it gets them thinking, and it gets them to be like, well, I think it could help me in a number of different ways. Really? How? Tell me. So I get them selling me on how it could help them. And then usually they'll come back with, well, I've got some questions. Cool. What are your questions? And the questions typically will determine where I go with them next. So, if they're interested in just hearing more, learning more about everything, the opportunity, the product, I'm going to be like, listen, we've got a live overview that's happening tonight or tomorrow night. And the person that's hosting that webinar, Amy Pepping, I got to tell you, she is dynamic. She's a super lady boss. She's about to hit, an elite rank in her company in the first month that she's been here. And you know what? She's got an amazing story. She's a stay-at-home mom, but yet total mompreneur. And she's going to share how she's doing it tomorrow. Do you guys see how I just even built value around that call rather than just saying, hey, there's a call tomorrow night, you can get on and learn more. I shaped it in a way where the person would be curious to hear from Amy. So I edify that person. So I might send them to the live call. Or you guys know that we've been using a system called ATM. For those of you that don't know what that stands for, it stands for add, tag, and message. There is no more powerful system than this system that we are using right now. It is the most duplicatable system that we have. And the way that it works is very simple. We have 2 main groups. We have a group for product called DNA Testimonials. We recently had to change the name and drop the Uforia from it. So it's DNA Testimonials. And then we have a business group called Becoming a Nutritionist. Okay, so these 2 groups basically, if someone says, well, I'm curious, I want to know a little bit more about the science. I want to know a little bit more about, what people, how this has been helping people. What are people saying? How does it make a difference? I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to do. Tiffany, I'm going to add you to this private community that we started. All it is just testimonials. It's just people using the product, thousands of people that are in this group, and they're talking about how the product's making a difference in their lives. I'm going to add you to the group. I'm going to tag you on a couple of things just to start looking at, and then let's circle back around in the next day or two. So what I do is I put her in a group with thousands of other people, social proof that this product is working, right? So I add her to the group. I tag her. I go right to units. So I go right to the units in the group because we have all of the information carefully organized for you already. And now you can go in there and tag them on the one report for you or the one for you, or if they're interested in the science, the SNPs video, right? So there's information that you can tag them on. And then what I'll do is I'll start a message group with my upline leader. So Tiffany did this just the other day. I think Hallie is on this call, beautiful Hallie, who we just had a chance to connect with. Hallie, it was so nice to meet you. Our newest team member. Everybody give Hallie a big welcome because she's coming on board. We're super excited to have her. So Tiffany connected Hallie and I and her all together in a text chat, right? So she says, hey, Travis, I want to introduce you to Hallie, dynamic lady boss. I want to, she's amazing. And Hallie, meet Travis. And so I just said, hey, Hallie, it's great to meet you. I'd love to connect. When can we connect? And we coordinated a time, got on a call today, and had a wonderful conversation, a great conversation, right? But what that did is that message connected us. And it allowed me to kind of help facilitate. How many of you struggled to get people on three-way calls? It's kind of hard, right? After you get them to watch something, then you're like, hey, let me get you on the phone with this person. And like, maybe later. But this is a very natural, easy way to get them to the next step, right? So we've got DNA nutrition, DNA testimonials for our product side. We've got becoming a nutritionist for our business side for people that are interested in learning more specifically about the business. I'd add them to the group. I'd tag them on the latest presentation, maybe the comp plan video, things like that, right? So from there, she creates the message, and then now we do a three-way. Okay, we do a three-way call. And we have this conversation and get to know each other and learn about our backgrounds and how Hallie grew up as a, what did you call it? Hallie, you called it a product kid. I can't remember, but we were sharing stories about how horror stories that we grew up with our parents trying to sell products, right? So we have this wonderful conversation, get to know each other a little bit better, answer questions. And my only objective, guys, I'm not here to sell anybody. I'm not here trying to close anybody. You know what I'm trying to do? I just want to make sure that they have all the information they need to make a well-informed decision, whether this is the right team, and also the information they need to make the decision about which pack to get started with. So we have this three-way call. Okay, now here's where I think that we're losing some traction. And I want you guys to really pay attention to this next part. This is really important, okay? So what's happening is somebody says, yeah, I think I'm going to join. So what we're doing is we're saying, cool, I'm going to send you my link. You go ahead and get signed up there. Human behavior is such that people will always choose the path of least resistance. They will. It's just normal. It's normal for people to choose the least painful option that they need to experience if they can. So they get on the site and go, oh, 1 pack, 3 pack, 5 pack, 10 pack, 1 pack, 159, 10 pack, 1159. I'm going to start with a 1 pack. And that's just natural. And you see this happening, right? You see this happening in the organizations where one person comes on a 1 pack and it's just 1 packs all the way down. See somebody come in on a 10 pack and it's 10 packs all the way down. And the difference is just understanding the value. And so what I want to teach you is, and this is important, if you're new, then you need to include your influencer in the money conversation, okay? And here's what this would sound like for you. You would say, hey, Hallie, listen, there's some different options and ways that you can get started. Hallie says, yeah, I'm interested. I want to go ahead and I want to sign up. Great, Hallie, listen, there's a couple of different ways that you can get started in the business. And those options come with different benefits. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get my mentor, Amy, Tiffany, whoever your upline leader is, I'd like to get them on a call and introduce us and have them explain all of those different options to you so that you can make a well-informed decision, okay? And you need to get them on the phone with your upline influencers, whoever those influencers are. And if you're an influencer, you need to pay real close attention to the language that I'm teaching you. This is called value-add language, okay, what I'm about to share with you. Nobody teaches this kind of stuff, but I'm telling you, these are the little things that will make you be a professional in this business. It's called value add language, okay? So here's what that call should sound like. So we get on a phone call and we connect and chat a little bit, get to know each other. And then here's how the conversation sounds, okay? I'm gonna say, well, listen, and Hallie, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna use you just because we've had a conversation quickly, so I'm gonna use your name. So I get on the phone with Hallie, we have a wonderful conversation. I say, Hallie, here's the deal. There's a few different options and ways that we can get started into the business, okay? The first option is a customer option. Customer is $159, and you can order a kit. It's $159. And then once you get your kit, you're going to get your pre-trition, and you've got to spend $99 one time to get your lab piece tested. It's normally $199, but you get a coupon in your box. And there's two ways that you can do that. The first way is if you're local, drop by and I'll give you the kit right now. Or I'll bring it to your office, okay? Got an extra kit? Let's get you started right away. There's nothing better than quick, now. Again, everything that I'm about to share with you from this point forward, I want you to take your part-time, spare time hat off for a moment and think like a professional, think like a business owner, okay? This part of the conversation I'm sharing with you is the difference between earning $500 a month versus earning, 6 or 7 figures a year with what I'm about to teach you, okay? So I can bring a kit to your house, or you can come by, we'll get started right away. Or I can send you a link if you're not local, and you can order the link and it'll be there within a couple of days, okay? Now, for those that are interested in the business, and by the way, influencers, I'm drawing this on a whiteboard because I believe that people need to see this. People need to see this, they need to see the numbers. It's part of building the value. People learn differently when they see, they absorb differently when they see. There's psychology behind everything that I'm doing, okay? Even this line that I draw right here, there's psychology behind it. So, Hallie, there's a customer option. It's $159. You can order your kit. I can bring it to you in person, or I can send you a link. Now, for those that want to build the business, there's 3 options. Why would I draw that line? Sharon, why do you think that I would draw that line? I'm going to unmute you. Why do you think that I draw this line? Go ahead and unmute. I can't unmute you for some reason. There you go. Why do you think that I would draw that line?
Hold on a second.
You're muted again. That's all right. I think Sharon, that's all right. Are you there?
I think so, but
I can hear you. Can you see? So why do you think I would draw that line? She's muted again. That's all right. She's having a hard time with her phone. That's okay. Amy Pepping, help me out. I'm hanging on. I'm drowning. I'm drowning right now. I need somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Amy,
it's noisy over here. We're making supper. But so when you draw the line, so it totally gives a different option. They see that as one option. They see a line. It's different mindset.
Mindset, right? This is just for customers, right? I'm already now I'm going into business, right? So I'm drawing a line, and now, Hallie, there's 3 different options to get started in the business. Okay, so I've already removed customer off the option if you're interested in building the business. Okay, why? This isn't about just selling people product and trying to get bigger sales, you guys. It's about setting people up for success. It's about giving them the best chance for success. And I'm gonna give you some reasons why in just a moment. So there's 3 different options, Hallie. There's a 3-pack. I call this a toe dipper, by the way. There's a toe dipper option. Okay, the toe dipper buys 3 packs. It's $407, and you're gonna save 10% off of your 3 kits. This is good for somebody who wants to have a kit for themselves, one for your spouse. That's important, by the way, if you're going to build a business. Sometimes the testimonial may not even come from the great testimonial, might come from your spouse. So it's good to get both of you on the product. You both need to be talking about it and sharing your experiences. And you're going to have an extra kit on hand so that if somebody local says, I want to drop by and get a kit, you at least have 1 kit on hand. So this is kind of a toe dipper option. The second option is our 5-pack, kind of the middle of the road pack, or a small business builder. And the 5-pack is 600 and some change. I don't remember the exact number right now. What is it, 650-ish? And you're going to get 15% off each kit. So you get a little bit of extra inventory, which is good. Maybe you have a few people over. You've got a couple of extra kits on hand. People are much more likely to go home with those kits when you have them right there in hand, ready to go. Okay? Number 3 is a 10-pack. Okay? This is our all-in pack. These are only for people that want to go big and they want to go fast. Okay, I say that on purpose. These kits are reserved for only people that want to go big and only want to go fast. And this kit's a 10-pack, and it's $1,199. You get 25% off. But here's the cool thing. You get some cool perks for coming in on a 10-pack, right? They reward those people that come in and they're all in because, you know, these are the people that are serious about getting going and going fast and going big. So here's the thing that they're going to do. Number one of the 5 ways that we get paid is our discounts and dividends program. And what's cool is that they automatically qualify you at the highest level. So you're maximizing this right from day one. And so you're going to get an additional $20 on every kit that's sold in your organization and every kit that you purchase. So if I buy a 10-pack, literally I already have $200 coming to me. I have $200 coming to me in a check next month because I signed up at that level because I'm getting $20 off. Not only that, but you're going to get 5 shares in the Fortune pool. Now let me explain how this works. There's a pool. They take 10% of all of the commissionable volume. They put it into the pool. And then however many shares are awarded at the end of the month determines the price per share. So I've seen these shares as low as $20. I've seen them as high as $130, $140 a share. But let's just say it was only $20. That's another $100 that you're getting right there. So if you're doing the math, guess what? You know, there's $300 off your pack. So now it's $899. You're getting those kits for $89 per kit. Now again, put that business hat on. You sell these for $160, you're getting almost 100% margin on those kits. So what is it? Number one objective in business is to be profitable, right? Move your inventory. If we started a shoe store and we had inventory, what would our goal be? To move the inventory. Sell these kits every month, right? So definitely, you know, we can get you down to $899, but now we have what we call as our proven plan of success. People ask me all the time, what's the best way to get started, Travis? There's a good, better, and best, right? 3-pack, 5-pack, 10-pack, good, better, and best. But if you want to know what our proven plan of success is, this is what it looks like, okay? Start off on a 10-pack. Okay, why? For a couple of reasons. Number one, you have more skin in the game. You're going to take it a little bit more serious. And you're going to challenge yourself to move those kits first. And there's going to be a question that people ask you over and over again. What did you do? And you're going to say, I started on a 1-pack or I started on a 10-pack. And whatever you did, we'll duplicate. I promise you. So, you know, 10-pack is by far the best way to go. Now, here's the proven plan of success. I'm going to tell you to keep 2 kits, maybe 1 for you, 1 for your spouse. And I'm going to have you go move 8 kits in the first 7 days. We call this the 7-day challenge. Now, before you start asking yourself, well, how am I going to do that? I have a question for every single one of you that's on here. If I were to pull out my keys to my Mercedes and put them down on a table and tell each and every one of you that if you could go sell 8 kits in the next 7 days, those car keys are yours, free and clear, and you can have that car. It's yours. Could you go sell 8 kits? I want to know, every single one of you, could you sell 8 kits? Drop a comment in the chat box or shake your head or give me an eye or raise your hand if you think you could do it. How about this? Is there anybody that couldn't? If you knew that you could have my car free and clear, is there anybody that couldn't do this? Every single one of you are saying you could, and I know you could, and I know you would, and you would do whatever it takes to make it happen. So the question isn't whether you can do it. Natasha says, I never drive a Benz. Okay, whatever car you want. I'll give you how about the Yukon, okay? So whatever it is, okay? The point is, you could do it. So remove that completely off of the table because I know that you could do it if the why was big enough, okay? Now, I can't necessarily give you my car every time. It's not duplicatable, but let me show you what would happen if you did do this, okay? And then I'm going to show you how to do this. First of all, number one, if you go sell 8 kits in 7 days, you're going to make $1,280. You got 100% of your money back, okay? In addition to that, you now have 8 customers. So your product is now free. You're never going to have to pay for your product anymore because it's free. You have enough people in your organization that your product's paid for. In addition to that, you still have a check coming for $200 because you got the highest level of discounts and dividends. Plus, you got the 5 shares in the Fortune pool. Let's just say it's $100. Plus, you're getting $20 in every kit that was sold in your organization over the next 30 days. So you're in a situation where you could be anywhere from $300 to $500 profitable in the first 7 days. In the first 7 days. Think about this. The number one thing that you need to be successful is a success story. Because there's nothing more powerful than saying, listen, Sharon, if I can do this, you can do this too. There's nothing more powerful than saying that to someone. Or when someone says, well, how's it going for you? You know, I got to this thing. I did exactly what they told me to do. I've already made 100% of my money back, and I've already made $500 in my first 7 days. Do you think that that's a compelling story to share with someone that you would want to just share over and over and over again? Now, leaders, influencers, mentors that are on this call, people that have organizations, this is what I encourage you to do. Have this conversation with your new team members as part of your launch strategy with them and ask them, hey, if you were to have a good week at work, how would you celebrate? Would you go out to dinner, buy yourself a nice glass of wine, order pizza? What's your thing? Like nothing too big, but just something that you would reward yourself with. I did this the other day with a girl named Abby. She says, I like a nice bottle of wine. I says, cool. I'll tell you what, you go do this in the next 7 days. Clock doesn't start ticking until the product arrives. You have to text me when it gets there. And if you move 8 kits in the next 7 days, I'll send you a nice bottle of wine. She said, let's do it. I'm in. So have some fun with what I'm doing is I'm giving them a bullseye. I'm giving her a target, right? I'm giving her a goal. I'm giving her something to work towards, and we have some fun doing it. Now, here's the thing. If she didn't do it in 7 days, but she only moved 3 or 4, but then it took her 10 more days to get the rest of them moved, so it took her 17 days to get this done, is that a bad thing? If it took them 30 days to get this done, is that a bad thing? In 30 days, they'd still get 100% of their money back. They'd still have their product for free, and they'd still be profitable. You show me one business that you can do that in 30 days, you guys. Some of you need to go through this and prove to yourself that you can do this. Because once you do that, your confidence is going to go up, your belief is going to go up. Is it going to be easy? No, business is not easy. You have to challenge yourself. Some of you need to still go through this and prove to yourself that you can do this. Because when you do, your confidence will explode and your energy will be contagious. Okay, now, here's another thing. Somebody says, well, listen, I just don't have the money. I don't have the money. Look, there's reasons why we have different levels of kits, okay? So I understand that. Just so you know, when I started in that situation, when I was in 2007, when I actually got back into network marketing again, because we kind of started with Eric and did a couple of years, and then I kind of slowly backed away with my new company. It wasn't doing much. I had to borrow $1,000 to get started in my business. I had to borrow $1,000. Paid it back in the first check that I got. I paid it back to Steve. So I believe when there's a will, there's a way. When there's a big enough why, there's a way. But I want to teach you something else. I want to help you with perspective. Remember, we have our business caps on. We're business owners. So I want you to think like a business owner, okay? So OPM. How many of you have heard the term OPM? It stands for other people's money, okay? When Elon Musk, when Richard Branson, those type of people go start a business, do you think that they use their money or do they use the bank's money to start a business? 100% of the time they use the bank's money. Why? It's called leverage, okay? It's called leverage. And what they do is they borrow the money, start a business, take the money from the business, pay off the debt first, and now they acquire a business without ever spending any money at all. This is how the wealthy continue to get wealthier. If I were to sit here and have a whole seminar on wealth building strategies, the first thing we talk about is leverage. We talk about creating residual income stream and then other forms of leverage and how you can use that leverage to acquire income producing assets. Okay? So most Americans have leverage and they don't use it the right way. They have the same kind of leverage that the wealthy people do. They just don't use it right. Let me give you some examples. Credit card, that's a form of leverage. Home equity line, form of leverage. I can keep going on and on. There's all kinds of different things that you can borrow against, but here's the thing. We're taught what? Don't go into debt, don't go into debt, don't go into debt. And that's a good thing to a certain extent, because how do most people use their credit cards? They use them to buy things they don't need, shoes, clothes, whatever, going out to dinner, and they get into debt and they're a slave to that debt, okay? But here's what I teach. What I teach is, listen, you want to put $1,199 on a credit card. You're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 45 days until your first payment is due, where it's interest-free. If you follow our proven plan of success, even if it took you 30 days to move your kits, you literally take that money that you made and you pay off your debt first. You've now acquired a business without ever coming out of pocket. What if I don't sell those kits, Travis? Okay, so let's say that you had to carry that debt service and the payment is $75 the first month on $1,199. Well, if we can't sell one kit, you guys, to cover that, we're doing something really, really wrong, or you're just not doing any work at all. So let's say that you sold a couple of kits and you paid this off, and you paid a little bit of that off, and then you really started to get into your rhythm and your momentum, and then you were able to pay that off. You still have not spent a dollar, and you've acquired an income-producing asset. The goal for you long-term should be, if you want a wealth strategy, it should be IPAs, income-producing asset number 1. Okay, now that that's making money, let's take that money and put it into income-producing asset number 2. And the goal is to develop 4 or 5 of these income-producing assets that's building to your wealth strategy. Okay, so we're thinking like a business owner. So when somebody says to me, I don't have the money, I usually say to them, let's talk a little bit about just wealth building strategies and OPM. Now, look, I don't expect those of you influencers to have that conversation all right now, but you do need to master the conversation of how to present the packs to someone the right way. And here's what I tell the person, by the way. I say, well, how are we going to move your kits in 7 days? So so going back, and I'm doing a little bit of education, so I'm not just telling you exactly how I would present it. I'm stopping and educating along the way. So if I were just presenting the packs, I'd say, okay, so here's the deal. We've got a customer option. Here's how it looks. It's $159. 2 different ways that you can get those kits. For those that are interested in building a business, we've got 3 different options. We've got what I call a toe dipper option. By the way, nobody wants to be called a toe dipper, just so you guys know. Call it that for a reason. Nobody wants to be the toe dipper. So got a toe dipper option. It's 3 kits, $407. We've got a middle of the road pack, kind of, small business builder. Middle of the road pack, 5-pack. It's $650-ish. And we've got the all-in pack. And the all-in pack, just so you know, that's the one for people that are wanting to go big and want to go fast. So do you want to build this slow or do you want to build this fast, Tiffany? Oh, you want to build it fast. Okay, cool. Well, great. So this is probably the best kit for you. So let me tell you why I think this is the best kit. So here's a couple of different options for you. First, or a couple of benefits. First of all, you're going to get the $200 from the discounts and dividends. You're going to get the 5 shares in the fortune pool. Now, Tiffany, let me show you our proven plan of success. The duplication system that we teach. For people that are wanting to, since you said you want to build it big and build it fast, let me show you the proven plan of success. Start off on a 10-pack. You buy 10 kits, you keep 2. You go sell 8. You sell 8 in the first 7 days. We call this the 7-day challenge. Tiffany, by the way, what do you do how do you reward yourself when you do have a good week? What's something that you do? Oh, you like a bottle of wine. Cool. Okay. I'll tell you what, I'm going to issue you a challenge. If you can go sell 8 kits, in the next 7 days, I'll send you a bottle of wine. And here's why that's so important. Tiffany, you're going to get $1,280 back when you move those 8 kits. Plus, you've got another $300 coming. So now we put you into a position where you're profitable. And on top of that, your product is now free because you have enough customers that your product is going to be free for you. But listen, I'm not just going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. So here's how I suggest that you move your inventory, okay? The first thing that has to happen is the clock doesn't start ticking until you get your product in the mail. When it arrives, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to do a Facebook Live. Now, look, I know that this is uncomfortable for a lot of you guys, but I'm going to give you permission right now that you don't have to be perfect, okay? In fact, the less perfect you are, the better. The last live that I did, some of you saw it, Legend was shooting me with Nerf bullets and my fire alarm was going off in the middle of my live. And you know what? It was I had more compliments on that live than anything I did. Why? Because it was real. Just be real, okay? So I want you to do a Facebook Live. I don't want you to do a presentation. All I want you to do is say, hey guys, I'm so excited. We've been waiting for this and it's finally here. Let me show you what this is. And you open up the box in front of them and you show them it's a DNA test and you show them what's in it. Then you talk about how you're going to test, you're getting ready to send the swab away and how you're going to get your customized nutrition and you're super excited about it. It doesn't have to be a sales pitch. Just go live. Okay, you're going to get some interested people about it. Second thing that I want you to do is I want you to make a list of your hot market, your top 20 friends, family members, people that are closest to you. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to them and I want you to just say, and you can't really say the wrong thing. This doesn't have to be scripted. All I want you to do is let them know. Remember that challenge that I gave you of if you had if I were to give you my car keys, you would do whatever it takes. You'd call somebody and say, I got this huge goal. I've got to sell 8 of these in the next 7 days, and I need some help. Can I send you a 3-minute video that just shows the product that I'm working on to see if it's something you might be interested in? You would do that, and you would do that to the people that are closest to you first. So I want you to reach out to them and just say that. Look, I've got to sell. Literally, I have to do this. I have to sell 80 of these in the next 7 days. I've got a lot riding on it. It's super important to me. You're a friend of mine. Can I just send you a 3-minute video? It may be a good fit, it may not, but I think you could get a lot of value out of this product. I'm even willing to give you $100 off if you're interested in helping me out with this, right? $100 off coupon, right? So pop market. And finally, consider doing a launch. Invite some friends over to your house and have a little small group of friends and family members over. Play the video, let them know what you're up to. You do these 3 things, you're gonna be well on your way to moving those 8 kits in the first 7 days, you guys. And I'm sure you have some other creative ways and people that you could call and things that you could do as well. So I share all of this with you because when I do this with a prospect, when I have the conversation, when I have the value, the added value language conversation with them, 9 out of 10 times the person says, I want to do the 10-pack. It's not about me selling them. It's not about me closing them. It's about me educating them so that they can make a well-informed decision. And I believe that when you explain the proven plan of success and you explain, the number one question that somebody has in their mind is, how can I get 100% of my money back? Right? If I get into this, if I put some money out, how can I get my money back? And if you show them a way, you connect the dots, they're going to be more inclined to do that. So for me, this conversation, at the very least, the options and this proven plan of success conversation needs to happen every single time when your person says, I want to join the business. It will change everything. And let me show you, and I'm going to close on this thought because I know we've been on here a long time. I'm going to show you the difference that it'll make in your business. I'm going to give you an actual visual so you can see the impact that this will have. If everybody comes into your business on a single pack, this is what it looks like. If you started just teaching the system I'm sharing with you with a 3-pack, you multiply your commissions by 4. Because every person that's coming in is immediately going to go get 3 customers, right? If you did it with the 5-packs, this is what it looks like. Your commissions are now multiplied by 6. If you teach everybody to do what I'm teaching you, this is what your organization looks like as it's growing. So my question to you is, do you want to go fast or do you want to go slow? The system that I'm teaching is setting people up for success. It's helping, and I'm giving them the most valuable thing. Anybody that does what I do, and I'm challenging you all to do this. Go through this, because you will build a success story for yourself that you can tell over and over again. And there's nothing more valuable than having a story that you can go share with someone and saying to them, if I can do it, you can do it too. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully there's something that kind of flipped a switch for you. Let me see, I saw that they may have seen some questions on here. So let me look and see, Tiffany, if we had some questions real quick. Okay.
So good, Travis. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. What if you've already done your DNA swabs before joining? I'm not sure I understand that question.
We have a few customers that just turned into nutritionists and people who are now launch their business that have already.
Oh, I would call them and have the business conversation and say, listen, you want to know what the proven plan of success is? I know you were a customer. Now you're looking at building the business. Let's have a conversation about the best possible way for you to launch your business. And I would have this conversation with them. And I would encourage them to buy a customer acquisition back and get some product in hands. Absolutely. We have, just so you know, some of the fastest growing businesses and teams that we have. They have people that are ordering. I have one person that's ordering a 10-pack every month and selling those kits. It's just her programming. I order 10, I go sell them every month because I'm going to make, I'm making almost double my money on the kits, plus I'm loading up my customers and I'm qualifying. Every time I get 10 people, I go get, 10 more shares in the Fortune pool that month. So it's part of their business strategy. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, but when you think from that perspective, some people do the least and the minimums, and some people are like, look, I'm going to buy a 3-pack or a 5-pack because I know I have to move these kits every month. So just think again like a business. And a business, yes, we can send links now, and some of us are like, well, I don't want to carry inventory. Just think like a business would, and it'll help you. Sometimes we have to put ourselves out there a little bit and challenge ourselves to get our butts in gear. And I think that if you haven't done that 10-pack 7-day challenge, it's the best thing you can do to launch your business. And by the way, just so you all know, your personal, when you order a 10-pack, that's 550 in volume. That 550 in volume counts towards your personal rank advancement as well. So if you want to rank advance before the end of the month, which by the way, is one of the most critical things that you guys could do is rank advance, because it's showing progress. You're proving to yourself you can do it. You're going to be recognized by the team. You're going to be recognized in your personal wall by your upline leaders, and everyone around you is going to see that you're having success, and that is going to get them to go, huh, maybe they aren't going to quit in a month. Because most of the people that are watching you are betting you won't be here in 90 days. And when they see you get recognized, it starts to change the dynamic. So just know that this also counts towards your personal production. And if somebody said to me, well, should I wait till the new month? Heck no. Why would you do that? Success loves speed. If I order this 10-pack today, guess what? I'm going to get a check in 10 days because I'm already going to get shares for the month of January. Plus, I'm going to get the $200 discounts and dividends from January. So I'm already going to have a check coming to me back to me in a couple of weeks. So success loves speed. Yeah. Back to you.
I think the question was, is there's a few people who've already done their swabs and they're ready to go Facebook Live now. Do you have any creative suggestion on how they could share it live since they've already done their swab?
Yeah, I mean, I would still, if you haven't gone live or public yet, I would just say, I would act like, you know, you're excited about this and you want to just do an unboxing, and I'd open up my black box, I'd tape it back up, put a little piece of tape on it. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I want to share with you, you know, something that we've been really looking forward to, or something that we've now been taking. We didn't want to share it before we decided to take the product and build some belief ourselves, but we feel that there's enough value here that our community and our friends and family members really should know about this. Let me explain to you what it is and why we're so excited. Don't do a presentation, just open the box, show them the pre-trition, maybe show them if you're already in, show them your wellness report. You guys, look at this wellness report that we got back. You know, no wonder I've been struggling with this issue for so long. It finally makes sense. You know, how much value would it be to you to know why you're struggling with some of the issues you may be struggling with? And then look at this now. Look at my name is on this bottle. So that's what I would do if I've already been on the product.
I want to say thank you so much for all of this. This is gold, by the way. I'm going to need this recording immediately because I know Natasha said she couldn't take notes because her arms were full and she's got 7 days. I know I want to learn it and study it and keep passing it on and reteaching it. So thank you for your time.
You're welcome. And if you don't know where you're at for rank advancing, guys, just log into your back office, click on the rewards button. It'll tell you what your current rank is, and you can select what the next rank is, and it'll tell you. There's little green bars that'll tell you what you need to get to the next rank. My challenge to everyone on this call as I close is challenge yourself to get to the next rank before the end of the month. Whatever that next is for you, get it done. Get it done. If you're missing 200 in volume, get it done. That maybe is as simple as you ordering a 3-pack and challenging yourself to go move those kits, and that volume will count. Or you need one more person. Whatever it is, whatever the next is for you, get there. Make some progress this month. You need baby steps. You just need to keep moving forward. Progression is very, very important. So thank you guys very much. I've got to jump on another call. Appreciate all of you. And I just want you guys to know you've got some amazing leaders here at the helm. The leadership team, the lady bosses that are on this group are amazing. And I love this community. Summer and I, this is our, no, I can't say that. I can't say this was recording. One of our favorite teams, and we enjoy working with all of you guys. So with that, you guys have an outstanding day, and let's go out and finish the month strong, okay? Take it easy, guys.
Bye, guys. Thanks for that, everyone.